Hey guys, I have a really important teaching about energetic blockages. I like to think of energetic blockages like an inner child. It helps me understand what's going on more. And so, anytime you have an energetic blockage, like for example, I have a big energetic blockage in my neck right now. When I feel into it, it feels like there's just this inner child just gripping, like he's just hanging on for dear life. So anywhere you might have a contraction in your body and a density chakra that's closed, if you can just feel into it as if it's an inner child, you can feel like, ooh, there's something there that doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel secure. And there's a lot of reasons for this. First, the inner child, it really wants to know, like, okay, there's an adult here that's unconditionally loving, isn't addicted to things. But the main thing the inner child wants to know is there an adult here that trusts God, that trusts fully and completely in God to support him or her? Um, and and I don't like to teach separation, but just for like a visual of how this works. Okay, so like there's God, there's you, and there's your inner child, and of course you are God. There's no separation. You are source energy in form. But just for this teaching, it's helpful to think of three different, like there's God, there's you, and the inner child. If the inner child can sense you as the adult, the unconditionally loving adult, if it can sense that you trust God fully and completely, it's just gonna melt. He's gonna like he, however you want to feel into it. They're just gonna like loosen its grip. He's gonna relax. He's gonna just say, "Oh, there's an adult here that trusts fully in God. We're safe." But if you don't trust God, and the throat chakra is, we tend to have blockages in the throat chakra when we don't trust God fully. That's the deepest thing there with the throat chakra to know. I learned that from my teacher, Craig Holiday. But if we don't trust God fully and completely, the inner child can feel that, and he's just going to clench and hang on. And the thing is, when we do finally like just relax into beingness and start trusting in God fully, and we just let go of control to God, and we release our personal will over to God, meaning we're not trying to go through life with the mind anymore, being the boss. We're just letting go into our life stream, our life force. You're gonna start to feel like everything, these three separate parts, God, you, and the inner child, it's all gonna start to merge. It's just gonna become, you're gonna have the direct experience as oneness, which you already are, of course. All of these things are just God. But sometimes when we're feeling an energetic blockage, it's helpful to think of these things as separate parts, because that's really what's going on with a blockage. Is there's fragmentation, there's separation, and so to bring them home, it's helpful to know, like, okay, um, you know, there's something here that's just not trusting right now, um, and so that's really important. And what the inner child needs is, he needs patience. He needs to be held. He needs unconditional love. He needs to be told it's okay. He needs to feel from you that you're willing to let him feel what he's feeling till the end of time. That there's no hurry. Um, he, like, if we're living out of alignment for like a period of time, we're gonna start to feel more and more contracted, more and more pain, more and more like this. And so that's like how alignment works. If we're in really full alignment, we might be feeling a lot. It might be really intense and painful, but we should be feeling pretty open. Energy should be flowing. Our chakras should be open. We should be feeling like lots happening energetically. When we start veering into an old pattern, when we stop, when we start avoiding alignment due to fear of the unknown, um, fear of certain feelings, loneliness, whatever it is for you, sadness, because a lot of times living in alignment asks us to let go of things. So there's lots of feelings that come up to keep living in alignment, and sometimes we don't want to feel those, so then we go off into, like I said, an old pattern, the comfortable, the known, the security, and that's when we'll start getting clenches, because what we're saying is we don't trust God, we don't trust alignment, we don't trust being led into the unknown, we don't trust we'll be taken care of, and so your body will start contracting, and it'll start just getting tighter and tighter. And that's the sign that, oh, something's off here. I'm not really in alignment with my truth. And it's good that this happens. Like, we need an indication, and this is the indication: tightness, energy stops flowing. Um, and so we'll do that for a while, and the contraction after a while just gets so painful that we don't have a choice but to, like, okay, I don't care what I have to feel. The pain of this contraction has become too much, right? And so that's the pointer there. That's the signal. Like, okay, we're off the tracks here. Time to let go, come back into my life stream, my life force, divine will, however you want to feel into it, and feel the feelings of fear. Step into the unknown and feel those feelings fully. And then you'll notice it takes some time, but your body will start to relax and open again, because it can sense, oh, he's trusting. She's trusting in God again. Beautiful. And the inner child starts to feel that, and then the inner child starts to let go as well, meaning the energetic blockage starts to open back up. So things we want to do is just trust God, live in alignment. Those are the best things to help with an energetic blockage. Unconditional love, patience, tenderness, putting your hand on it, breathing into it, I love you, while you're exhaling, saying it's okay. Lots and lots of time in meditation can be helpful. Things we don't want to do is force. If there's anger there, if we're frustrated, there's a blockage, let the anger move. You don't want to point the anger inwards at yourself or the inner child that's gripping, though. You want to just make sure it's flowing outwards into art, into a pillow, screaming, martial arts, in a container of a session with a healer or a therapist or something, a friend, talking to a friend. So an energetic blockage is always a really good indication that, hey, there's something here that we need to let go of. Maybe it's a belief, it's an old pattern, it's an old paradigm we're living in. And I just always like to think of it as like the inner child. And the inner child grips because there's a trust issue. We don't let go of things because we don't trust God, ultimately. Things that no longer serve us. That's what I've been going through. Just feeling my field refortify, feeling my energy really start to come back into more of this integrated and aligned place, and slowly but surely starting to feel the inner child start to, like, I can feel him start to sense, oh, okay, he's trusting God again. We're safe. He's trusting in the Divine Mother. I can let go of my clench. He's heard me. He's heard me throwing my tantrum, like, hey, what's going on here? It feels like there's a fearful mind running the show instead of the Divine Mother. And now it's like, oh, okay, he's letting go into the Divine Mother again. Okay, great. And then you really do feel that oneness with God and the inner child. It feels like he just dissolves into oneness as well. But I hope that teaching made sense. Sometimes I get these downloads in meditation, and they seem so perfect, and then I try to say them, and it's so much harder to say them. And as I'm saying it, I'm like, is this helpful? I don't know. We'll see. It feels like it might be, though. Felt good to share it, so that's usually a sign that I might feel good receiving it. So much love to you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.